Hello everyone. Today I'm going to set up a CI for my new project, the text encryption app. For those of you who haven't seen the previous video, I'm currently working on a text encryption app. Basically it will be a simple app which will just let me show you the layout. Where user will be able to enter any text here, then let's say encrypt it and see output here. Now I already set up Cypress, which is a unit testing framework. Unit testing, and you can say end-to-end testing. It's more like UI testing framework. Here I added a new script to start Cypress. Before I started it manually typing it all in the command line, but now I just edit a separate script, so now I can start it with just yarn cypress open, and here it starts. Okay, so here is our test. The point of this test is to just check. Okay, we can't visit it, of course, because our React app is not started. Also, I set up a React app. Basically, what I did is just yarn create React app, and that's it. Then I specified this folder to create it in this folder. That's how I created React app. Now to start the React app, you use yarn start, or in the npm start if you're using npm, but for React usually people use yarn. Okay, while starting, I will explain you what a CI is. CI stands for continuous integration. Another term with a close meaning is a CD, which stands for continuous deployment. So sometimes it's called CI/CD. Continuous integration, continuous delivery. Originally, this term refers to a development practice involving frequent integration of code from all developers into a shared repository multiple times a day. Now, the integration itself is an easy step. You just merge code, and the only thing you need for this is Git. Of course, Git will merge all your code and you won't have any issues. But the problem is, even if code merged fine, it doesn't mean you won't have any bugs, because you might be in a big team. There might be like 10 people, 20 people in a team all working on the same code base, and everyone is making changes, and you can guess how many bugs we can end up with. So to avoid that, we have unit tests. Unit tests and integration tests. Actually, more integration tests are more important usually. These tests are run automatically to check if everything is fine. So after every commit, you should run unit tests, which will tell you if something broke. If something actually broke, then unit test will tell you where it broke, and it will be clear which commit is to blame. And then we need to fix this quickly. Without unit tests, it's very hard to tell that something happened. Usually it will take some time, depending actually on how glaring the issue is. It might take hours to days, and it could even reach production. So that's what this continuous integration process is. But ACI currently is understood not just as a process, but as a system which does all this, which builds your app, which runs tests, and then usually also deploys your project somewhere. So you can think about it as a dedicated server which builds the project. Okay. So now there are several different CIs on the market. One of them is Jenkins. Jenkins actually is a very well-known CI, but you have to host it yourself. If you want to go through the pain of hiring your own AWS instance, for example, and then deploying their Jenkins, then you should be fine. It's probably not that hard, and you can probably even hire an instance with Jenkins already there. But you still need to manage it yourself. You need to install plugins and all this other stuff. Another easier way would be to use something like Travis CI. I had some experience with this already, so I can show you how a CI actually looks. Travis CI, also Circle CI. Circle CI, another option, but this one, as much as I understand it, is less free than Travis CI. I think they have some free pricing too if you use 1000 build minutes per month. You have one concurrent job, one container, whatever. I think Travis CI is like more free. So here you can see I actually have one project here, which is one of my libraries actually, which is called Redis JSON. JSON here. I have this library here, and to make it work in Travis, you just need a travis.travis.yml file. And here you need to specify whatever you need to do. What I do, I just run tests with coverage. I just run Mocha tests here. I have several Mocha tests. So what we do here is on every commit, we get our latest project from Git. Yeah, then it installs Node. Basically, after this whole boilerplate thing, it runs tests with Mocha. Mocha is a unit testing framework. So here we have several tests and they all complete fine, and then we get passing. Should some tests not pass, you will immediately see this in the history. Here we have build history. We'll probably have some tests which did not pass. Here you see this test did not pass, and I think we have an option of sending an email for that, so that if something broke, your manager can immediately see it, tech lead can immediately see it. We can send an SMS probably. No, probably SMS is not possible here, but who knows. So that the issues will be identified immediately. of course, the issues which were properly tested before. Now, how to set up it? I'm using Cypress for this project, which is actually a little different. Okay, we have one single test. We check that there are 3 panels. This panel is still not styled, but we'll do that later. We have 3 panels. Here we'll have input, here we'll have transforms, here we'll have output, just like I showed here. What is this? Text transform spec, just like we have it in this spec. Yeah, actually this one says we found a partition secure vulnerability is one of your dependencies. This is related to React scripts dependencies actually. So, okay, these 3 panels basically, which I haven't styled yet, but I just make sure that they are already present and this test succeeds. We have one succeeding test here. So to set up this Travis CI, first thing we need is to create this .travis.yml. And usually if you want your testing framework to work with the ACI, you can just Google how to do this. That's what I'm doing it. Cypress with Travis CI. Cypress double S. Okay, and here we see example travis.travis.yml config file. Okay, only thing is we're actually using yarn here. I'm not sure, do we have yarn CI? Do we even have this yarn CI command here? And what's it supposed to do? Yeah, yarn CI we don't really have here. But so the point is we need to Cypress run record. We need to do, that's what we need to do. Okay, I think this we can do with just yarn Cypress run record. Install we will do with yarn, and what we will also want, we will want a server to run while tests are running. I think I set it up with Jenkins some time ago, and I had a good example where we could start. I think if we do yarn start, this would hopefully be fine. I'm not sure what is this npm true and shouldn't. Caches home npm when npm ci is default script command. Caches not modules in all other cases. Not sure we really need this. I'll try yarn true. Yeah. Somehow okay. usually doing. I'm committing it under Linux. I have a WSL, Windows subsystem on Linux. Okay, anyway. .yml. I have a feeling that this is not going to work, but let's try it. I also check Cypress with Jenkins, because I think I set it up somehow with Jenkins some time ago. This is the interesting thing here. Yes, it's using some concurrently thing. Okay, let's try maybe to edit this script here. Okay, this is for Angular, I think. But it won't change anything. I will just do yarn start. Yarn add. This concurrently module we need to add. But okay, anyway, we committed already our old file. Let's check what happened. So first we need to add another repo, which is text transformer. Now we can try to trigger a build. I'm not sure how I can. Okay, it's going. I think something's happening. Some installation. It's installing Ruby. Actually, for a one-man project, this is not strictly necessary. You can run tests even on a single machine. Even if you do it without tests for such a simple project as I'm going to do, it is totally fine. However, it's a good practice to still do this even when you're doing projects alone. And that's why I'm setting up a CI. Okay, now we are installing I don't know what's happening. First we got NVM, okay, NVM. Okay, now we got yarn install. Now it will install all the dependencies we need.
Okay, it says compiled with the warnings.
That's interesting. What would this mean? Because it's not building any tests currently, but also it's not stopped. I think that's because we have yarn start here, and since yarn start will never return, it's just started our local server for the React project, but it never goes past there. Yeah, it's yes, it really looks like this. So that's why we need this concurrently thing, which I showed you. Being Cypress Tranquil, others yarn start. Yeah, I think this one is a better version of this. So let's do like this: yarn Cypress CI. Cypress CI. So here we just do yarn, and here we just do yarn Cypress CI. As much as I understand, this concurrently thing lets you run both these commands at the same time: yarn start and Cypress. And once one of them ends, getting success first. Yeah. So once one of them ends, then it probably ends the other one too. And I'm not really sure about this, but I think that's what it's doing. Not sure, but this is very probable. Travis YML. Okay, changed Travis.yml. I'm actually liking write commit messages in the editor because I like seeing modified files and everything else. You can just do git commit -m and then specify your commit message directly in the command line, but somehow I like looking at the modified files before I do it. Maybe then I want to cancel it. Who knows? Change travis.yml to use a Cypress CI script. Okay, now it pushed, and let's see, it should actually automatically pick up latest commit. Yeah, it's taking some time. Yeah, while it's doing it, I might check my styling thing. Oops. Integration text for this occurred when Cypress was compiling and bundling your test code. This usually caused by missing file or dependency. I don't even know what's happening here. Let me just stop it and maybe start again, because Cypress integration, text transfer, everything is here, as much as I can see. Yarn Cypress open. Unfiled with code. I don't know what to say. Yeah, I think something happened with my setup. Yeah, with my local setup. But anyway, let us continue with our. Oh yeah, somehow it's running also the example test cases, which I don't really want. You see, it ran all the example test cases. It's running them all, but I don't really need this. But I might use those tests as a reference. Anyway, probably I won't need this. I can just check the documentation. So I will delete those examples. This is interesting. Somehow it's not starting, but I was just running it somehow. Usually in these cases, what I do is that's why it happened. Yeah, actually I'm running two OSs alongside each other. One is Linux WSL, which I mostly run. Usually I use it, and Windows, because Cypress needs to actually have access to GUI to open this thing in browser and all this stuff. I actually used Windows here, but for committing in Git, I'm usually using Linux because of line endings. Because there are Windows line endings and Linux line endings, and Windows line endings. Windows somehow does something weird with these line endings. I think it can be fixed, but anyway, the point is I did. You see what I did? I did yarn add concurrently in Linux, which broke everything here. So I think now the only way to fix it, actually, you should remember this way of fixing things, because this is a well-known way of fixing things. Rimref node modules, or on Linux. On Linux, I'm doing this rmref rm-rf. This removes whole folder, so node modules will be completely removed. Okay, it might take some time. Let's look at what we have here. Okay, here we have so many actually things. So many examples completed. Then I'm actually wonder, are they going to end someday? Yeah, they ended. So this one, this is the only one we actually needed text transformer page load spec, and it completed just fine. You can see here. Anyway, so now delete it, and to fix this you would just do yarn if you're using yarn, or npm install, or just npm I. This is the same thing if you're using npm. Since I'm using yarn, I'm just doing yarn, and this will use package.json and yarn.log to reinstall all the node modules. Yeah, it's going to take some time. Anyway, I completed what I planned for today. So let's check tomorrow our Bootstrap or maybe some other framework to make our panels actually look like panels and start working on the visual side of things. Thank you for watching.